Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Joy Onwuchekwa. So if you're seeing this video for the first time, I would like you to go and watch the part 1. So this is part 2, and we stopped at number 4 from part 2, but I want to clarify something in number 4 of part 2, in this part 2, and that is accommodation requirement. Now, if your spouse or your partner lives in the UK, I'm using UK as an example because that's where I live, so I know the things that are obtainable here. If your partner lives in the UK and you want to move over, your partner must bring an evidence of a rented house or a house that he or she owns. If he or she does not own a house but lives with someone, so you could live with someone who owns a house and the house could have a lot of spaces, then yes, that person could give you a written information telling the government that he or she accepts you to be part, for you to come over to live in the house. I wanted to get that part very clear, so I think there was a little bit of mix up there. So your partner must be able to get this. They just want a documentation to know that you know where you're staying, that you have a place you're staying. They don't want you to come to their town or their country and become a nuisance. So that's just the essence. So your partner must provide a documentation that when you are coming over, there's a place you are going to stay. Number 5, intention to live in the UK together. It must be very important in the sense that when you come to the UK, they don't want it to be like they are trying to fade off this arranged marriage of a thing, where you pretend that yes, both of us are married, we're in a relationship, then you come over to the UK, you go to your own separate way, and the other guy goes to his separate way, and all of that. They don't want that. So that's why they are very meticulous about Africans. I think they are, because a lot of stress they give us when we want to come over to the UK. They want us to prove everything. They want to verify, they want to prove and make sure our relationship is genuine and all of that. So there must be a proof that you and this person do not have an intention of going your separate ways, that you intend to be together. You intend to be together. You don't intend to come and then run away and leave the guy, or the man leaves you and decides to do his own thing. You know, they don't want that. So that's why they need an evidence of both of you being together. They need those pictures. They need those text messages. They need those, you know, anything that can prove that both of you have been together. Utility bills, if you have lived in your home country together, they need utility bills that both of you paid. If the guy rented a house for you and probably his name is on the bill of that house he rented where you're living in your home country, they need it. These are proofs that will make them believe that both of you have been in communication and that it's not just a breezing thing and breeze. The next one is immigration status of sponsor. That means your partner who resides in the UK, his or her immigration status. Before you are able to bring someone over, if you're in the UK, it simply means that the person has indefinite leave to remain. That means the person is a citizen. So you must have an indefinite leave to remain before your partner can invite you over. And this would have to be through his passport or his ILR and all of that. He must prove that he has an indefinite leave to remain before he can bring you over. Now, another way your partner can bring you over is if your partner is a refugee. Now, if he's a refugee, yes, he can bring you over because it's regarded that people don't have anywhere to go. So, obviously. Now, another way your partner can bring you over is if your partner is protected by the UK. He's a humanitarian and he's protected in the UK's custody, so you can. Number 7, proof of identity and relationship. This part there, and here you go, see me. So this part, your partner and you must bring, you especially, this part goes to the people who the person who is being brought into the country. You must have your passport. Now, one advice I would want to give anybody coming into the UK is, if you have an international passport that bears your surname, not your husband's name, try to change it before you come over. It doesn't stop them from denying you visa. When I came over, my passport was bearing my father's name, so not my husband's name. So we applied it, although we showed all our evidences and we were accepted and we came in. But here, you have issues when you have to prove where you live. So proving where I live here is a problem, because we are trying to change my surname to my husband's name. And the receipts, like the GP, most times the GP will have to prove that for the GP to change it into my husband's name. We have to prove for the GP, for the school to register me in my husband's name. We have to prove for the utility bill to be in my husband's. So, you know, everything is proving. We keep proving, try to prove everything. It would have just been an easy thing. Excuse me. It would have just been an easy thing if I had changed my name to my husband's name before coming. But it didn't occur to us because we were just overjoyed and happy. Hey, the passport has come, let's travel, you know. So we just did not do that. So here, we are here proving, and trying to change it. So I would advise you, change it to your husband's name. Change your passport, renew your passport, and just change your surname, okay? To make things easy for you. I can't operate a bank account here because the name doesn't match. So if I give them my name, the name on my passport, where I live doesn't match the name of my passport, I have to start proving. It's my driver's license that I'm using now to make it easier for me to get every other thing. All right, so it's important you change it. Just give yourself that stress. Remove that stress. Even if it's going to take another 3 months for you to get your passport, get it before you apply. Please change your surname, okay, to your husband's name, so you don't go through a lot of processes in doing that. So you must have your passport, and your passport must bear your names for you to be accepted. You must have other documents like your marriage certificate is very important, or your civil certificate, that if you did in court or you married in the church, whichever one is accepted. Now you must have evidences of your, I keep talking about evidence of your photo. So in case you want to travel and your husband is abroad or wherever you want to travel, start collecting pictures. Make it like a duty. Snap everywhere. You laugh, in snap, in shit, you snap. Everything you just snap. Keep snapping. Hey, just snap because it's necessary. So you must have shared bill. You must have account. If you have account, joint account in your name, you can open an account in your name and put some money because you want to use it as an evidence. Okay. So these are things you can just do to make your application very simple for yourself. Each one is tuberculosis test. That one is very important. So tuberculosis test, it's simple. It's not really as difficult as we think it is. I lived in if you watch my video, you know that I stayed in Port Harcourt. So tuberculosis test is being done in Nigeria in just 2 places. I think it's in Abuja and Lagos. So I went to Lagos to do my own at Island. So I went to Island to do my own in Lagos. They tell you everything is on their app, is on the link, the application you are going to do. So that's why I say you don't need anybody to help you. Just go to the government website. You will see every step you need, every documentation. So what I would advise you to do is, first of all, open the link, check out all the documentations you need. These documentations must be available before you start applying. That's one rule. All your documentations must be ready before applying. It's like you want to go and do your passport. Common sense should know that for you to do your passport, you should have, number 1, your NIN. Then you should have, number 2, your what is it called, state identification, whatever. You go to your local government to get that one. So these are the 2 things you need for your NIN. So when you get your NIN is what you use to do your passport. So you should just know this. Go and get all your documents ready. So when you start applying, it's one time, you just go. okay, and you take your time to apply. Don't rush it. Any question you don't understand, read and read it very well before you take your yes or your no. Okay, so I went to Ireland to do it. I did it at St. Nicholas Hospital. That was where I did it. It doesn't take time. It's just you go, they take an x-ray of you, and that is it. So, and they give you the results. It's my own took a day. I did it that day, then the next day I took the results and came back to Port Harcourt. So that's where it's been done. It doesn't take so much. Your last one is your visa processing fees. Your visa processing fee is about £1,528. I don't know if it has changed now, if it's gone higher or gone lower. So your husband could actually fill the form and pay it for you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to pay it. I did not pay. My husband paid for me because I didn't want that stress of going to look for. I didn't have a pound account, neither a dollar account, so I didn't have that stress of going to look. So my husband paid the money into the account. So your husband can actually, or your partner can do the payment. Now, apart from that, you also have a health care surcharge. You're going to pay that, and I think that one is about £624 too. Or like I said, all this money I'm calling now is could be changed, could be increased, or it could be less. So just make your findings to know if it's increased or if it's lessened. But this is just an idea of what you have in mind for you to process your visa and your healthcare charge. So healthcare charge and visa fee goes together. Now, when you're done with all this, that's when you now book your flight. So don't go and book your flight before you do all these things. It doesn't make sense. So when you do all this application, when you fix them and you're done with applying and everything, they will send you a message telling you should now bring your passport. So they'll tell you where you go to bring your passport, depending on the country you are going to. I sent my passport to the agent they use is in Nigeria, is in Rivers State. So I didn't travel. I sent my passport to their agent in Port Harcourt, and their agent took it and returned it with DHL. So it was easy for me. So you just make your findings. If you need any other question, I would gladly answer you. And if you think there's any other thing I need to add in this video that I did not add and you need to know, let me know. And if you think this video is not well detailed enough and there are some things you think I left out, I would also like to know. We could learn together, we could find the answers together. Okay, so thank you for watching, and thank you for always coming back to watch my video. I do not take you for granted. And if you know you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Please subscribe. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.